Well, if this is true, I want to be very clear that I stand with Gregory Bovino and everyone who stands with him. Make sure you let your opinion be known by hitting that like button and leaving a comment. Hopefully, we can change some minds here. But it is being reported that not just was Gregory Bovino, the leader of ICE, leaving Minneapolis today, but reportedly he's been fired. This is outrageous. This is politics at its finest. This is capitulating to the mob. And unless there is something absolutely major that they're going to reveal in the coming hours, because this is an exclusive scoop from Nick. I talked to him, got his take on it too. It appears he's just a fall guy. Gregory Bovino was in the streets, putting his life on the line with his men. And I guess, I know when I first saw the news, I thought, well, how long was he even supposed to be here? Okay, so I initially saw Nick Sorter share this, which he's on the ground. He obviously probably knows about as many more ICE agents than any reporter. He writes, major breaking news. Gregory Bovino has now been relieved of duty as Commander-at-Large of the U.S. Border Patrol. I have exclusively learned this is BS. Trump must reverse this now. Bovino put his life on the line every single day, pushing for mass deportations across the country, going head-to-head with leftists, reminding them who's boss. His family's been on lockdown for months, and despite the constant threats on him, he's still in public leading his men every single day. Do not cower to Democrats. President Trump, back Bovino. And I back Bovino 1,000%. Again, unless something comes out that I'm unaware of, which I've been digging and digging and digging, trying to find literally anything. And this is outrageous. When I first said this, relieved of duty, I thought, oh, well, how long was he even supposed to stay in Minneapolis? Well, I talked to Nick and he said, no, he's not being moved. He's being fired. Bovino is no longer the Commander-at-Large of the U.S. Border Patrol. He is not leaving Minneapolis. He's being demoted. This is obviously, the news has not broken in major mainstream media yet. So, shout out to Nick. And hopefully, if you enjoy my coverage on this channel, you'll leave a like on the video and you'll subscribe or follow for more updates. He attaches this video. Let's see what this is.
Here in the United States, I'll be here and I'm going to continue operating in your town. I'm sorry, the taxpayer's town, not your town. And that's what's going to happen.
I regret to hear that. I will say it once more.
To happen.
You are going not welcome here.
Check yourself.
Yeah, I mean, every interaction I've seen with this guy,
Defending the U.S. border.
he's been a total badass. Here's the best. I'm piecing things together, and here's what I'm thinking. So, Caitlin Collins of CNN writes that he's expected to leave Minneapolis. Now, nobody other than Nick is reporting he's been fired, but I talked to Nick. He's 100% confident in this, and I'm 100% confident in Nick's abilities. His public appearances did not go well internally over the weekend, including when he claimed Peretti intended to, do horrible things. Like he used inflammatory language on what he had planned to do with law enforcement. Let me tell you this. I don't know what Peretti had planned to do, but I do know not just Gregory Bovino, but DHS, Kristi Noem, and a lot of these dorks that Trump has put in charge who have never had to leave their office chair and do real work. They also said equally stupid things over the weekend, implying that just because Peretti was carrying, that he intended to do harm, using a lot of weird Democrat talking points. I assume those would have come from the top down. But this part, importantly, his public appearances did not go well internally over the weekend. This is supported by Nick. I asked Nick, what in your guesstimate, if you had to pick up, why is he going? And I asked, is he the fall guy? And he said, supposedly falling poll numbers for Trump, Bovino is the fall guy. I mean, look, it's a part of politics. I understand that completely. But unless I see something totally wild about misconduct or something like that, I can't imagine why you would fire this guy. This is a purely PR decision. It looks weak by Donald Trump. And quite frankly, I stand completely against it because just the fact that Bovino is leaving, in which he perhaps was just going to leave anyway because, he runs all Border Patrol, what exactly, he's not going to live in Minneapolis, right? So I figured, he's probably just going to go somewhere. But what's interesting is this is on the heels of a lot of Trump kind of PR speak today. If we go back, I'm sending Tom Homan in Minnesota tonight. He's not been involved in the area, but knows and likes many of the people there. Tom is tough but fair and will report directly to me. It seems like Trump is not happy with what's been going on with ICE, at least particularly over the past week or two. We know how Trump is about his polling numbers, but we also know that Donald Trump is open to have his mind change. That's why sharing this video and letting people know you support him is important. President Trump now saying he and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey have spoken, and Tom Homan and Frey will be meeting tomorrow. Do not cave, President Trump. We, the people, voted for mass deportations. It doesn't. It seems like we're caving. It seems like we're caving, and I'm really glad I have my channel and the platform that I have to make my voice heard. He wrote, I just had very good telephone conversation with Mayor Jacob Frey, Minneapolis. Lots of progress is being made. Tom Homan will be meeting with him tomorrow in order to continue the discussion. Thank you for attention to this matter. I mean, I don't know, could this be, Musk and Trump strategically separating? I don't know. But if we look at, the response to this, right? This is just breaking now. He did F up the communications end. I agree. But then just get a PR person. Get somebody else to do the communications. Who's responsible for leaving him? I believe CBP Commissioner Rodney Scott is to blame for this one. No way it's going to happen. Unfortunately, it already has. He's no longer Commander Bovino. My sources tell me. No comment yet from Bovino. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there it's just a switch of leadership, and he's going to go. My hope is that they are. He's not going to do this, but he's going to have a different position, or something else to move towards. I have seen no reason whatsoever to be firing Greg Bovino, and this would be a massive hit to morale. I imagine his men love him. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if you're an ICE agent, email me. Let me know what you think off the record. What you think of Bovino. But I got to think, this is a guy that walked the streets with everybody else. Again, he's not fired. He's still in charge, and Homan is taking the role there. It's not removal. I pushed back several times, but Nick has said in many replies, he stands by this reporting that he has been removed. Maybe some kind of sick deal with Tim Walz. Really hate to see it. Extremely disappointing. It's possible. They said, hey, look, I need to get a PR win. I will capitulate to you, President Trump, but you have to give me a scalp. I don't know. You see this 18 minutes ago. You were right. It is true, unfortunately. So it seems like more people are now coming around and confirming this report. There's nothing on mainstream media right now, but unfortunately, this will be seen as nothing but an absolute victory for the left. That's the issue. Everybody's saying he's set to leave Minneapolis and Border Patrol's plans to reduce its presence. This is utter weakness. This is not what I want. Now, sometimes I understand. Look, this guy died over the weekend. I think it was a preventable tragedy. 100%. A lot of different decisions could have been made that day by the nurse, instead of getting involved with ICE officers, instead of carrying your weapon there. There's a lot of things that he could have chose not to put his hands on an ICE officer. This is not, I'm being told again, Bovino is not just leaving Minneapolis, but he's done. This is absolute weakness. You see, look, you were right. It's true, unfortunately. It's true. They're saying it on War Room right now, and Steve is not happy. So War Room is seeing the exact same thing. Nick Sorter's, relieved of duties, overstated. It's a localized redeployment. No, this is on, on War Room now. They are also confirming this. So, credit to Nick Sorter. If you're not following him on X, this is a massive, massive, massive look of weakness that will only be seen as a victory to the left and will only encourage more law-breaking, more lawlessness, and more violence. It shows them that if they can get aggressive enough, that we're going to fire our leaders. I mean, unless Trump, I'm hoping, praying that Trump has an uno reverso here. But as I'm recording this, more and more people seem to be confirming this report. There is no longer a commander at large U.S. Border Patrol. The position has been eliminated. There you go. They eliminated the position. He's been fired. Absolutely ridiculous. Make sure you let your voice be heard in the comments. Share the video and let people know we stand with Bovino.